you're really singing. I'm like, yeah, I actually sing on this side.
But let me tell you about how these things work. See, I am the customer, and the customer is always right.
She's right.
I am the customer, and the customer is always right.
Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today, I'm here with my friend Nicholas. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you want to explain some background information so the people know who you are?
Sure. So I'm Nicholas Sandara. I'm 26, and I was born and raised in Paris. So now I'm still living in Paris, and I'm a model and a singer. I also study. I'm finishing my master's degree this year. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's cool. Honestly, I also really wanted to go to Paris. Like, Paris is such a cool place to go to. Like, really, my top places to go to are Paris and Tokyo. Dude, I really want to go there. That's cool. How is it in Paris?
Well, I'm very used to it. So Paris is, it's nice. You never get bored. There's always something to do. But usually when you're from Paris, like you're a real Parisian, you tend to, you kind of have a love and hate relationship with the city. So you're like, yeah, I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. Like, but it's not boring. It's not dull. So I guess that's good. And it's nice. There's good food. There's interesting people. There's good, I don't know, there's good stores. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, like that's honestly the same. I live in Texas, so it's but it's like kind of like the country. You know what I mean? Like we out here like talking country and stuff, but it's pretty cool, honestly. Nicholas, he's like a singer. Would you say that about yourself?
Yeah. Yes, I would say that. I've been singing since a long time, but at some point I started to do it very privately. So if I start like with this, basically I started singing when I was about 3 years old, and I started to sing a lot, and I had a record. I did it when I was 6.
Whoa, so you got a record when you were 6 years old? Whoa, dude, how did? That's so cool.
And I started to sing a lot. I did a lot of live performances. I was basically, when you're 3 and you're curious about singing and start singing, and basically some people thought, yeah, he's good, he could do something, and you get asked, oh, you want to sing this song that I wrote for you? You're like, sure. And then they say, oh, you want to sing this live in front of 500 people? You're like, sure. And then they say like, oh, you want a record? Like make a record at this studio? You're like, okay, why not? You don't really know what you're saying yes to because you don't know anything. You're 4. So it started like that. And then when I was about 10, I started to dance a lot. I started to see music videos of pop stars, and I thought like, oh, this is so cool. I want to dance like that, and I want to do this. And I started dancing a lot. And my dancing teachers thought that I was good, like really good. So they pushed me like, you should really like make a career out of this. Like you should really do it professionally. So at that point, I thought, oh, I want to be a dancer. So I went to my parents and said, guys, I really want to be a dancer. I wanted to have a special study like program for dancers and stuff to like study like real school and dancing at the same time. They were like, no, there's no way you're gonna study to be a doctor or a scientist, or there's no way you're gonna do this. So I was like, okay.
So your parents were like strict about were your parents like strict? Were your parents like strict about you? Like I know some parents who are like, you know, you gotta go to school, be a doctor, do this. Like were your parents kind of like that?
Well, I'm Asian and my parents are Asian, and with Asians it's very serious. Like studying is super important, and they think that if you're not a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, like your life is meaningless and you failed. So I couldn't like my artistic career. Like it's so ironic because my parents pushed me to do this. My dad taught me how to sing, and my mom is the one who pushed me to make a record. So I don't at the end it's kind of weird to understand it, but they really wanted me to study. So I kind of put it on the side, and I kept singing and dancing. I also started to learn how to play the guitar at around 17, I think. I was bored one day and I started to play guitar, and then like I started modeling, so music became something really private. Like I would practice and write some songs, or it was really private. So sometimes like I would talk to people and to my real friends, and I would talk about, oh yeah, I love karaoke, like yeah, let's go singing, and I would sing, and they would be like, oh, like you're really singing. I'm like, yeah, I actually sing on this side. And they're like, no way, do you have a YouTube channel or do you do something? I'm like, no, but I do sing. Like it's been a while, but yeah, I do sing. It's kind of weird.
Do you like singing or modeling better?
Oh, that's a good question. I like, it's so different. I like singing better, but because
Why? Is it because like you can express yourself more with singing rather than modeling?
well, modeling is something very different. Like it's something that like people don't really know what it is to model in the end unless you really are in the industry or if you're really a model. So, but it's definitely interesting, but singing it has so much more to offer because modeling is all about image. And singing there's a creative side, like you're actually it's creative, like something that sounds musical. There's also the how to say the story point, like you're when you're singing a song you're kind of telling a story, or like you're giving a message, like something that is really important to you. And there's the whole performing, and there's a real talent behind like singing, dancing, or playing an instrument. When you're modeling, it's not you're not born with the model gene, and like you're not a it's rare that you're just a natural at shooting pictures or going on the like walking on the runway. You can learn that. I can take anyone in the street and teach them how to pose and how to walk a runway, and they could do it. So it's different. But I prefer singing.
Is modeling more harder than singing?
Is it harder? Do you mean like in terms of working, like
Yeah, in terms of like working.
I think that no, I think singing is harder. Modeling is much easier. You're basically when you're walking the runway, you're just walking, and I mean, of course, like you're walking in a certain way, but it's walking and turning and going back. And when it's shooting pictures, it takes work, but it's still like you're quite you have a lot of directions. When you're singing, you feel quite alone, and it's more personal. When I'm singing a song and in front of people, and I'm actually wondering like, wow, are they gonna like it or not? And it feels like I'm like if they don't like it, like oh my life is over. But with modeling, when I shoot it, like when there's a picture out there, like I'm half naked and it's very daring or something. If some people don't like it, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's not really me. There's a whole team of stylists, photographers, hairstylists, makeup artists, pre-production and post-production people that made this image of me. But it's not really me, so I don't really care that much.
Which one do you think is more successful for you, modeling or singing? Like, which one do you think you got like more success offer, like more maybe opportunities?
I think modeling, because modeling is something that I did in my adult life. I've been modeling for about 8 years now. So since from 18 to 26, I I I have a lot of I did a lot of good jobs. I don't think that I'm a supermodel or top model, and I am not. I just have had the luck to do some things that were significant. And yeah, and with singing, it's something that I did when I was little, and then I kept on practicing and working on my art, I would say, but like on the side and in a very personal way. So, but when I was little, it was like a real thing. Like every a lot of people knew me because of singing. And if I tell you more about this, like it sounds like, oh wow, he made a record. He was 6 and he was, I don't know, famous or something. It's not really the case. I was singing a specific genre of music. It was Laotian traditional music, because I'm half Laotian. And basically, I was singing this specific genre of songs, but my song was really successful for that genre and for that market. So in Paris, there's quite a big Laotian community, but within this community, I was super famous when I was little, and still now. Like if you're in Paris and you ask like a random Laotian person, oh, do you know this kid who used to sing when he was little? Like most of the time you're gonna get oh yeah, I've heard of him, or yeah, I saw him live, or oh yeah, I have his record or something. Like that's the thing. But for me, it's more like my past life. When I get asked about this, like sometimes I meet some people and they're like, oh my god, you're so grown up. Like I used to see you when you were little and you were singing this song, and they start to sing the song in front of me. And I'm like, yeah, but that was 20 years ago. I've evolved since then. Now I sing, I don't know, like I sang Martin Solveig or Ariana Grande. Like those songs, I don't sing them anymore.
Did it take you like a long time to like discover your voice, or like did like as you grow up, did like your voice progress? Like did you? I'm saying like do you think you really got? Did you think your voice really got better as you grew? And how do you think you did better?
Um, well, when I was little, well, how to start answering this question, which is very interesting, but a bit complex. In I think that in when you're singing, you have different genres of music, and if you sing pop or rock, there's you're using a completely different set of technique. What Taylor Swift does and what Ariana does, it's so different. Taylor Swift is more about being on point and just more maybe about power, and Ariana is more about effect. It's very R&B. It's very like no, 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 like like stuff like that. So it's different. When I was little, the type of songs I was singing, it was quite simple. I just had to be precise and use a bit of power, and it was simple to sing. But as I grew older, I got interested in more complicated songs. So I started to learn more about technique and stuff. So just by singing the songs I liked and trying to sing like the singers, I would improve my technique. So I definitely think that I improved, but I have much, much, much to learn. And for example, I've never had singing lessons. So I really want to work with a singing teacher or a vocal coach so that they could give me like some tips that would help me like a lot, knowing that I've never had the no one ever taught me like the basics of singing. It just came naturally. But I'm pretty sure that I missed 1 or 2 points, and with those tips, I could like be a much better singer.
Yeah. Okay. And then one more question. What was I gonna say? Oh, what is your favorite like genre of music you like to sing? Like whether it be like pop, hip hop, like country, or like your language. Like, what's your favorite genre to sing and why?
Well, I have two types. The thing is that I sing, I dance, and I play guitar. So I like songs that I can dance to, so I could give like a real performance, like what you see of, I don't know, like which example can I give? Like, this is, I think it's not the best example, but for example, Lady Gaga, it's a real show. Like there's a real performance that make it very it's interesting to the eye. So the dancing and the choreography, that's like something that I like. So I'm torn between a song that you can dance to and a song that I can play guitar to. So something really like pop dance, or pop but more like rock, or pop acoustic, like songs like that. So I'm torn between the two genres.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, dude. Like, this was an awesome interview. I really enjoyed it. Guys, I will leave his channel down below. He has an amazing voice. Like, I was watching your Ariana Grande cover. Like, your voice is like so good, and you have like so much control of your voice. Like, it's honestly amazing, dude. Yeah, no, I watched it and I was honestly amazed. That's why I honestly wanted to interview you. I wanted to interview like your control and like how you like sing is so like amazing. So yeah, props to you, dude. And also thank you for taking your time.
It was my pleasure. So much fun.
All right, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I will leave his channel down below. Please go check out his music. It's honestly amazing. Go subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Bye.
Thanks. That was so much fun.